I call the Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Chair, I thank the members for the comments that they have made, particularly around the accommodation supplement and the changes that we're making on that. So I just want to take a short call and perhaps explain, as requested, the policy behind it. And I think it's very important that we understand there is actually a major difference between the support that we give to students in tertiary education and the support that we give through the accommodation supplement to largely middle and low and middle income people, mainly families. So New Zealand actually has a very generous support system for students. We didn't always have that, but it now is. I think about 74% of the fees are funded by the taxpayer, and that is right and proper, because we know as a nation that it is critical to our development that we have a highly educated, skilled people living in New Zealand, and it is of benefit to the whole community. There is also an individual benefit from tertiary education. There's plenty of research that backs that up and shows the advantages that someone who's been through tertiary education can earn over their lifetime. So what you are doing is, by providing support to students, it is a shared form of assistance that is shared between the taxpayers, the country, the individual student and their families. And so the policy intent is quite clear, that is a different level of assistance from those that the government supports through the accommodation supplement, who are getting no other form of government support, and who may not be getting any other type of government support, and recognising that they have needs. And of course, you know, we've had a debate in this House earlier about housing, and people in the country do actually need help from the community to help them with those housing needs. And so that is the policy behind why we have two different types of support. And what we're doing in this bill is saying, actually, we've got some very smart students out there who've worked this out, and they are coming off the student allowance in order to be eligible for the accommodation allowance. And they quite rightly, under the policy guidelines, should be receiving their support as a student rather than through the accommodation allowance. And the question that member from New Zealand First raises about the adequacy then of the support that we give to students is completely beyond the scope of this bill, but it is a completely different debate, and that's a right and proper debate to have at that time. And you know, I've been a Minister of Tertiary Education, and students never think they get enough support, and that's right. That's their ability to argue that. But as I say, the taxpayer does support them very generously, because there is it's recognised that's right, that they go on to be taxpayers, and there is a community benefit, and that's why we do it. But there is a very distinct policy difference between the support for the two different groups.
I call Chris Hipkins.
Thank you very much, Mr Chairman, and can I thank the Minister for that clarification. She made it very clear in her comments there that there is a difference in government support between what we give to students and what we give to low and middle income people, predominantly low income people, through the form of the accommodation supplement. And I want to make it clear that that's the issue, because the changes that are being made here potentially discourage people from studying. And I disagree